We've been going to doctor from our childhood. Nobody asked us how do I feel mentally. They only say what is the problem.
If you go with a fever, if we ask you how you feel, how you are mentally, does not have that importance at that moment. We have to think about it after the fever is gone down or after there is an acute manifestation. We need to understand why there is this manifestations coming in. Every human being is an individual. He has his unique constitution, unique composition, unique gut biome composition, his own mentality, attitude. So he has unique is the genetic code, is his prakriti. Proper pitta people are good manifestors, good planners. They take up any responsibility to their limit.
Hi, welcome to KC Talks. In the last podcast with Dr. Nirlepa ji, we came to know about a very important and a very unknown fact. Philosophy is very important for treatment. I never knew this. And also a person who is taking the treatment should also have a purpose of life. This is a new point for all of us. So we ended that podcast to understand what Nadi is. So let us understand from Nirlepa ji what is actually Nadi. Namaste, madam.
So before we proceed with Nadi Pariksha, we need to understand some essential basic principles to know and perceive Nadi Pariksha in a better way.
Okay.
So as I have already mentioned that human is a multidimensional being. He has to have healthy body, healthy mind and healthy spirit. The main point here to understand is that the body, mind and spirit are interconnected.
Yes.
Any change in the body is expressed in the mind and any mind in the body, change in the mind also expressed in the body.
Okay.
I would like to cite a simple example for this. For example, if there is lack of chromium in the body, chromium element,
Okay.
mind craves for sweets. The person cannot control having sweets.
Oh.
And similarly, if there is any fear or anxiety in the mind, the person is either he eats continuously without knowing himself or he'll be going on to stools for frequently before performing anything. So in this way, the body mind show symptoms and expressions related to one another. Similarly, a positive spirit takes your body and mind into a positive way and your energy levels and everything is in a positive way. Similarly, in a negative spirit, that you are more depressed, you are into where you don't want to eat anything, disinterest in life is seen in the mind.
If I want to take revenge on my enemy, that is also considered
It's a negative hold of spirit. You are taking your good energy towards a negative fulfilling a negative purpose, which will not give you any peace of mind, because ultimately in mind we need contentment and peace. Santi is what we all thrive for. See, first we may think of many emotions coming in, this I need, but finally we want peace.
Right. So to cut short, madam, let us go slowly because this is all a new concept for us. So mind and body are interrelated and you have a spirit for that. Either you use a positive spirit which can be used in a positive direction or a negative direction. All the three impact human
one
beings
another.
exist. Yeah, impact one another. But when we go to a doctor, see, we are doing this to understand your understanding of a disease, right? But when we've been going to doctor from our childhood, nobody asked us how do I feel mentally. They only say what is the problem? Okay, I have some diarrhea or I have loose motions or I have pain in my stomach or I have a fever. Why does any doctor doesn't want to understand the psychological position of a patient?
I don't think that a doctor doesn't want to understand the position. They deal with the present condition there. If you go with a fever, if we ask you how you feel, how you are mentally, does not have that importance at that moment. You are going to the doctor in an acute condition, which you have explained. This all which I am speaking about, we have to think about it after the fever is gone down or after there is an acute manifestation. We need to understand why there is this manifestations coming in. Why we are getting a repeated attacks.
No, I agreed. So at that point of time, whatever is acute condition, that has to be addressed.
Yes.
But in our experience in so-called medicine all these years, even after I recover, I have never, first of all, I have not checked on myself, why am I getting this cold for every seasonal change? Why am I getting fever? I have never done that. Neither doctors have told me to do that. The introspection part is missing.
I would definitely like to explain this as we go further, because
Okay.
I'm trying here to explain that first important principle is to understand that body, mind, and spirit are interconnected.
Yes.
So we have to look at the person in a holistic way as a whole person. Second, we always have to, as our body and the life of a human being is multifactorially affected. It is not only one factor which affects. So in order to treat it or to get its health back, we need to have an integrated approach.
Okay.
Third major point is every human being is an individual.
Okay.
He has his unique constitution, unique composition, unique gut biome composition, his own mentality, attitude. So he has it, as unique as the genetic code is his prakriti. So we generalized way of treatment will only help us to address some or a part of our health. But later we need to get into the individualistic part.
Okay.
Because of the uniqueness which we perceive.
Okay.
Now from here we would try to understand what makes us unique. So the whole spectrum, visible spectrum which we see around here is made up of mainly 5 elements.
Okay.
Earth, water, fire,
Ether.
air and ether. Right?
Yes.
So these 5 elements ratios compose all the visible spectrum, including us.
Okay.
So this during the time of conception we determines our prakriti. That's what we call as constitution.
Okay.
Now Ayurveda understands these 5 elements in 3 vital principles. That is vata, pitta and kapha. Vata is a combination of space and air element. Pitta is majorly the fire element. Kapha is fire and earth element.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you try to understand vata as where is in the body vata? I mean, if I open the body, can you show me vata? We cannot do in that way, because vata is the principal force behind the manifestation of movement.
Okay.
That is why vata is called the vital principle of movement.
Okay.
Any movement that happens in the body, nerve impulses, muscle contractions, muscle movements, and even in the cellular level, the molecule should get in and get out. That needs vata.
Okay.
So that principle is what is vata, and that is manifested in the form of muscular movement, which we see in the in the physiology which we study. Like you need to move your muscle, the muscle is there for movement, nerve conduction is needed. Even for nerve conduction, we need vata.
Okay.
So it is here we have to understand that we cannot have a same criteria to measure everything. So the manifesting part is the movement, and the force behind the movement is taught in Ayurveda. So the physiology is there, but the force which makes it happen is what taught in Ayurveda, what is explained in Ayurveda.
Okay, so vata basically means all the movement of
Momentum principle.
Momentum principle is vata.
Wherever, in a simple way. Every element also have some guna, the quality, which determines how it functions. This also, for example, we'll take vata as the example. The vata, air and space elements are more of dry in nature. They are cold in nature. They move fast. So when they manifest as in the body as physiology or pathology, they will show the same symptoms. They'll express in that way. The nerve conduction move fastly. There is a movement in the with a pace in the muscle. So as long as vata is in appropriate ratio as with prakriti, we are in balance. One's own prakriti. When this vata raises or decreases, then the pathology begins.
So very fascinating information, ma'am. So now that I have understood that vata is movement principle, as a principle vata is movement, and pitta is transformation, and kapha is basically secretion.
Yes.
So now that we have understood this principle, so shall we know, like when this kapha, vata, pitta, if they go not as per your natural constituency, and if they go high and low, what kind of experiences will a person get?
Yes. So vata, pitta, kapha has to be in alignment with our prakriti, that is constitution.
Yes, ma'am.
So when every dosha has a seat in the body.
Okay.
The major seat. So let us start with vata first. Vata major seat is colon.
So okay.
Colon. So as vata is an momentum principle, when it aggravates compared to the constitution, then it is expressed in the form of pains. When vata is decreased or lack of vata happens or vata gets blocked, then you have rigidity in your movements. Your movement gets slowed down or you feel rigidity.
Okay.
Now vata imbalance in mind. When vata is aggravated in mind, your thoughts are not in your control and you start, there is a continuous chain of thoughts coming in. You feel more anxious, you are more anticipated and go into fear. That is the major expression of vata, fear. When the vata is low, due to lack of vata happens, then that creative instinct falls down. You do not focus at a point. You lack attention.
Okay.
So this is majorly about vata principle.
Okay.
So a balanced vata person is a creative person. He has a good focus, he creates and then move on to the next creativity.
Very well said, yes.
Next, let us understand pitta. The major seat of in the body is liver for pitta.
Okay.
When pitta is aggravated, it is expressed best in the form of burning. It can be anywhere in the body based on what the problem is. Burning sensation and there is inflammation in the body. When pitta is lack of pitta happens, there is difficulty in digestion and absorption and assimilation of nutrients.
So metabolism dysfunction.
And this leads to the metabolism disorders.
Okay.
When we go into the mind, aggravated pitta is expressed in the form of anger. You don't have control on your extreme emotions. You go to any extreme in mood swings happens.
Okay.
When pitta is decreased, you are fearful to take the responsibility. You don't take up responsibility and manifest it in the right way as planned.
Okay.
That is what pitta is. A balanced pitta in the mind is a dynamic leader. He is a good planner. He plans everything properly and also helps others to manifest things out. So that is a balanced pitta person.
Okay.
Coming on to the kapha, aggravated kapha in the body leads to the hypersecretions like asthma with phlegm or more cough, congestion of chest, going for more urinations, etc. When kapha is decreased in the body, the secretions lack for hypothyroidism, the hypofunctioning of all endocrine glands, scanty urination, sweat decreases, etc.
Okay.
When kapha is aggravated in the mind, you tend to compare yourself with the others, leading to jealousy, possessiveness about things and persons, overly attached to your things. And you tend to be more selfish kind
as a
of
person.
Behavior. Yes. When the kapha decreases in the body or in the mind, you become lethargic. You do not have any motivational force to go on further. And you do not tend to let go things. You tend to stick to the things, stick to the past, keep on repeating about it. Basically, you fail to detox yourself.
Very nice.
In the body, when the kapha is less, you have the stagnation in the body.
Yes.
Along with the hyposecretion. One more example is like kidney stones, gallbladder stone. You are not able to excrete your uric acids or urea out completely.
Yeah.
Similar is the state of the mind when your kapha is in imbalance.
You can't let go of your past.
Let go of your past. Let go of anything which is harmful to you, which will be destroying you.
Wonderful explanation. So now that I have understood, the changes of these three doshas will affect the mind also very badly.
Yes, the body, mind and spirit. Three things are interconnected. So these three doshas can be understood at the body level, at the mind level.
Wonderful, madam. Thank you so much for this explanation.